There is a man in the streets of Chicago who is calling for left-wing protesters to grab their guns and turn them on ICE agents and kill them. This man has been identified. He, I'm sure as no shock to you, works for the university system in Chicago, the educational system in Chicago. What is the response of DHS to this individual who is clearly fomenting and inciting violence against federal authorities?
Well, it's absolutely horrendous, and we've referred him to the Department of Justice for prosecution of threats against our law enforcement, and also really to look into are these threats viable? He's not just fomenting violence against them, but he's encouraging others to take up arms against our law enforcement as well. Benny, you and I have been on multiple trips to these sanctuary cities together, including Chicago and Portland, and we've seen what our law enforcement faces, not just 1,000% increase in assaults against them, but I mean, we just saw 2-3 weeks ago, out of Dallas, there was a terrorist attack against our law enforcement there, where that deranged individual had shell casings on his bullets that said anti-ICE messages, and he left behind handwritten notes that said he wanted to bring the ultimate annihilation, the ultimate terror to law enforcement. So we're seeing this time and time again, and it's not just from these domestic deranged individuals. We're also seeing bounties on our officers' heads from Mexican cartels, including the Latin Kings gang. But I also think, of course, and we've talked about this a number of times, look at these politicians who continue to foment violence against our law enforcement, and not just with their rhetoric, but also with their conduct. If you look at J.B. Pritzker, who's saying he's going to prosecute law enforcement for simply enforcing the rule of law on the books. And then you look at Brandon Johnson, who's the mayor out of Chicago, and he's saying that there's not going to be ICE zones, and he's trying to ban them from certain places in the city. This is what you get. You embolden these lunatics.